Welcome back. Braving bad weather and taking the challenge head-on, Suhail Sharma became the first male IPS officer to conquer highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. He achieved this rare feat from the Tibetan side of the north face of Mount Everest, which is considered as one of the toughest climbs. Suhail had tried to scale the Everest last year as well. However, he and his friend had a narrow escape in the Nepal earthquake. Our correspondent Taposh Bhattacharya caught up with him, and this is what he has to say.
There is will, there is way, and that's exactly what Suhail Sharma has proved, becoming the first IPS officer to climb the Mount Everest. Let's have a word with him and see what exactly were his experience. What made you, take up this challenge?
Mountains have always been very close to my heart, and I was lucky to do my education in Himachal Pradesh, which helped me to have an initiation into the valleys, the hills, the gorges, the coolers, and eventually from trekking it graduated to higher mountains, and then eventually into mountaineering, and then Mount Everest happened, and I'm so pleased I'm able to climb Everest from the north side, and it gives me immense pleasure.
You said that you climbed from the north side, which is supposed to be the toughest place to climb the mountains. What made you take such a challenge?
I had been understanding Mount Everest and the climb of Mount Everest for a couple of years now. Last year I was a part of All India Service Expedition, which was flagged off by Prime Minister Modi, and it was from the Nepal side. And unfortunately, because of the 25th April 2015 earthquake which hit Nepal, I was caught in an avalanche on the other side, which is the south side, Nepal side of Everest. And I was lucky to escape with minor injuries, but my friends were not that lucky. There were over 22 climbers who died on the route. And eventually I realized that mountains come with its own sort of risks. So this time, before planning to go, I was little hesitant from Nepal because there were some administrative issues with Nepal. Nepal wanted to give rest to the mountain for 2 years. So I said that Nepal may not allow the expeditions for 2 years, so I thought of going from the north side. It was tough, but I prepared really well. It was physically challenging because the camps are really high and it's really, really steep, but eventually with good training and good hard work, and I was able to accomplish.
Tell me, Suhail, what was the feeling that came to you when you set foot at the top of the mountain, top of the world?
I realized when we are on the top of the Everest, it gives you a feeling of accomplishment, it gives you a feeling of satisfaction, and it also gives you an understanding about how big the mountain is. It's not what you conquered. You never conquer mountain in the way you just conquer your own self. With physically and mentally broken, there is something which is more elusive, which takes you up there, and that thing is you, your own self, your own abilities. It tells you that you're wonderfully and powerfully made, and you should know yourself in a better way. Mountains are reflection to your own self.
What kind of message would you like to give to the youth?
My message to the youth is that whichever thing breaks you, whichever thing scares you, whichever things try to take you to the edge, makes you. It brings you back with much more strength. If you are not living on the edge, I think you're not living enough.
Here is Suhail talking to us about his experience climbing Mount Everest and sharing with us what he felt was the lifetime experience. This is Taposh Bhattacharya, TD News, Delhi.